Have you ever handed your mom, your dad, or maybe your sweet grandma a vitamin, thinking, this'll help them stay strong, live longer, feel better, only to start noticing strange things later? A sudden stumble, a dizzy spell, a change in memory, something that just didn't feel right. You didn't panic, of course. You thought, maybe it's just old age catching up. Maybe they skipped lunch. Maybe it's nothing. But deep down, a part of you wondered if that little pill you gave with love might have done more harm than good. You're not alone. I've been there too. I'm a brain doctor, someone who's trained to understand the mind, the body, the intricate dance between the two. And for years, I prescribed what I thought were helpful supplements to my older patients. I trusted the labels, the ads, the doctor-recommended tags. I thought I was doing the right thing. But then, I read one study. One terrifying, jaw-dropping study. It changed everything. I saw that a common vitamin, one that's probably sitting in your home right now, can raise the risk of stroke overnight. Not over time. Not with abuse. Overnight. And we've been handing it out like candy to people who are the most fragile of all, our elders. That could be your mom, your dad, your favorite uncle, the person who raised you, now unknowingly at risk because of something we thought was safe. In this video, we're pulling the curtain back. You're going to learn exactly which vitamin you need to be cautious with, why it's so dangerous for seniors, the warning signs to watch for, and safer, smarter alternatives to protect the ones you love. And hey, if you care about your loved one's health as deeply as I do mine, just drop a quick comment saying, "I'm here for the truth." It lets me know you're tuned in and that you want to do better, because you deserve to know the truth. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for Thriving Oldies, because we're not just another health channel. We're a growing with strength, dignity, and love. Now let's dive in, because what you learned today could literally save a life tomorrow. I remember Mr. Ocone like it was yesterday. A retired school principal, sharp mind, kind eyes, always showing up with a joke tucked in his back pocket. His daughter, bless her heart, had been doing everything she could to keep him strong in his old age. You know how it is, you want your parent to stay vibrant. So when a family friend said, "Give him vitamin E, it's good for the brain, good for the heart," she rushed to the store and bought the biggest bottle she could find. Every morning, without fail, Mr. Ocone took that vitamin. And for a while, everything seemed fine. Until one Sunday afternoon, he slumped over during a family meal. No warning, no sign, just collapsed right there at the table. It was a mini stroke, not the kind you recover from easily. His speech was slurred. His balance was gone. His bright spark dimmed. Now here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin E, especially in high doses, acts like a blood thinner. That means it can prevent clotting. Now, that might sound helpful until you pair it with medications like aspirin, or when it accumulates in the system of an elderly person whose blood vessels are already delicate. That's when it gets dangerous. That's when it can trigger a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding in the brain. It shocked me, not because I didn't know vitamin E could thin the blood, but because it was being used casually without a second thought in an aging body that needed precision, not excess. See, we've been taught to believe that if a little is good, more must be better. But when it comes to supplements, especially for our elders, more can become a silent threat. The body doesn't process things the same at 75 as it did at 25. What once helped can now hurt. So here's what I tell every caregiver, every adult child, every senior who's still making their own health decisions. If vitamin E is part of your routine, pause. Take a look at the label. Is it 400 IU? 800 IU? What? Are you also taking aspirin? Or blood pressure medication? Talk to a doctor. Don't guess. Don't go it alone. You're not doing anything wrong. You're trying to help. But now you know, so now you can do it better. But listen, my friend, vitamin E is just one piece of the puzzle. There's another group of vitamins, ones that everyone thinks are safe, even essential, especially for energy and memory. But in the wrong hands, they can fog the brain and damage nerves. Let's talk about B vitamins next. There was a woman I once met, let's call her Mama Ruth. She was 74, full of grace, and one of those elders whose wisdom poured out without her trying. But her daughter brought her in one day, worried about something she couldn't quite explain. Mama Ruth had started forgetting words, pausing mid-sentence, misplacing the remote 1 minute, and forgetting how to use it the next. Her daughter feared the worst, dementia, Alzheimer's. But the blood work told a different story. Mama Ruth's vitamin B12 levels were off the charts, well beyond the safe upper limit. And guess what? She'd been taking daily B-complex supplements with high doses of B12 and B6, thinking it would help with her energy. Now don't get me wrong, B vitamins are important. They help our nerves fire, our brain cells talk to each other, our metabolism keep moving. But in older adults, things don't flush out as easily. The kidneys slow down. The liver doesn't process like it used to. So when we keep piling on high doses, day after day, it builds up. And when B6 builds up, it can damage the nerves. It can cause tingling in the hands and feet, imbalance, and yes, even contribute to that dreaded brain fog. When B12 soars far beyond normal, it doesn't give you clarity. It gives you confusion, dizziness, fatigue masked as energy loss. It's ironic, isn't it? The very thing we take to feel better, quietly making things worse. We've been sold the idea that B vitamins are energy boosters, that you can just pop one and feel brand new. And maybe, for a 30-year-old who didn't eat breakfast, that's fine. But for your 78-year-old father? For your grandma who's on 3 different prescriptions? It's not that simple. So if you're giving your loved one a B supplement, pause. Just for a moment. Ask their doctor to check their levels. A simple blood test. Because if their B12 is already high, giving more is like pouring water into a glass that's already full. It just spills over and causes a mess. And the truth is, they don't always need a pill. Some of the best sources of B vitamins come straight from the kitchen. Fish like salmon and mackerel, spinach, eggs, even whole grain cereals that are fortified and gentle on aging stomachs. Real food, real nutrients, real results. But we're not done yet. You've probably heard of the next vitamin your whole life. The one we turn to when we're sick. The one we take with orange juice in the morning and stockpile in the cupboard like gold. Vitamin C. Safe, right? Well, what if I told you that even vitamin C can become risky in aging bodies? And it's not the immune system I'm worried about. It's the heart, the blood vessels, and the kidneys. I once had a patient, we'll call him Mr. Charles. He was 82, proud as ever, a former local football star in his youth. Still walked with a little swagger, still believed in staying active and strong. And he had this morning ritual: wake up, stretch, take his multivitamin, and then pop a 1,000 milligrams vitamin C tablet with his tea. He told me, "Doc, I haven't had a cold in years. This stuff works." And I smiled at first, until he started coming in with strange symptoms. High blood pressure that didn't respond to medication. Achy kidneys. Swelling in his feet. We did some digging. And guess what kept popping up? That daily high-dose vitamin C. What he thought was keeping him strong was quietly working against his aging body. You see, vitamin C is water-soluble, yes. But in large doses, especially over time, it can interact with iron, increasing how much your body absorbs. That might not seem like a big deal, but for seniors, it's huge. Extra iron can irritate delicate tissues, raise oxidative stress, and even raise blood pressure. And it doesn't stop there. Excess vitamin C breaks down into oxalates, tiny compounds that can build up in the kidneys, leading to stones or damage. And remember, our elders' kidneys aren't as resilient as they once were. They're slower. They're more fragile. That means even something as harmless as vitamin C can become a silent threat. We've been told since childhood, take your vitamin C to stay strong. And that's not wrong. But for seniors, the right dose might be half of what's on that store shelf. Because it's not just about getting nutrients anymore, it's about getting the right amount, in the right form, for the right body. So here's what I tell families who come to me confused and overwhelmed. You don't need to throw out vitamin C. But skip the megadoses unless it's medically needed. Instead, go back to nature. A slice of orange, a handful of strawberries, some sweet bell peppers with dinner. These aren't just safer, they come with fiber, antioxidants, and gentle absorption your body understands. The goal isn't to avoid vitamins. It's to respect them, because in the elderly, everything hits a little harder. Even the good stuff. Now, if that surprises you, brace yourself. Because there's another vitamin, one most people praise as essential for bones, balance, and sunlight health, that shocked even me. I once thought it was a no-brainer, a must-have. But what I've learned about vitamin D truly changed the way I treat my senior patients. Now let's talk about one vitamin that shocked even me, because it sounds healthy, it sounds necessary, and truth be told, I used to recommend it without blinking. I'm talking about vitamin D. Yep, the sunshine vitamin D pulls too much calcium into the bloodstream. In a healthy young body, that's manageable. But in seniors? That excess calcium can start to calcify arteries, strain the heart, and put dangerous pressure on aging kidneys. I used to think, if someone's not getting enough sun, just give them a supplement. But now, I know better, because in elderly bodies, where metabolism slows and organ function declines, vitamin D is not just about what you take. It's about how much and how safely. We're told vitamin D is essential, and yes, it is. But what we're not told is that the margin between helpful and harmful is razor thin. A few hundred IUs might be just right. A few thousand? That could quietly tip the body into imbalance. So if you or your loved one is taking vitamin D, please get their levels checked first. It's a simple blood test. Don't just guess based on age or diet or a Facebook post. And if a supplement is needed, let it be guided by facts, not fear. And don't forget, there are gentler ways to boost vitamin D. A morning walk in safe sunlight, a meal with salmon, sardines, or egg yolks, fortified plant milks. Real food, real sunshine, real results, without the risk of overload. But here's the part that still gets overlooked. Even if you avoid all these individual vitamins, vitamin E, B-complex, C, D, there's one more danger hiding in plain sight. One we don't think about because it's wrapped in bright labels and promises of complete nutrition. Yes, I'm talking about multivitamins. One small pill with a cocktail of ingredients that can mix, clash, and overwhelm an elderly body already carrying enough burdens. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. How many times have you handed your elderly parent or grandparent a multivitamin, thinking, this'll cover everything? No harm done, right? One pill. All the nutrients. Nice and easy. But here's what most people never think to ask. What's really inside that one little pill? Because when I started cracking open the labels, I saw something that made my heart stop. There was a caregiver I knew. Her name was Ifioma. She meant well. She was looking after her father who had high blood pressure and early heart issues. Every morning, she'd crush his medications in pap, mix in a chewable multivitamin, and help him swallow it all down. No questions. Just love. But then her father started having dizzy spells. Strange bruises. His INR levels, those numbers that measure blood thickness, were all over the place. It wasn't until we reviewed everything he was taking that the red flags lit up. That one-a-day multivitamin? It had vitamin K, which affects blood clotting. It had vitamin E, which thins the blood. It had calcium, which can raise blood pressure. And it had iron, which he didn't even need, and that can stress the kidneys. All in one tablet. Given daily. On top of prescribed medications for the heart, for circulation, for blood thinning. We're sold this idea that a multivitamin is a safety net. One pill to cover all bases. But that might be true for a 25-year-old who's skipping meals, Not for an 80-year-old whose liver, kidneys, and heart are juggling prescriptions, dietary changes, and the natural wear of time. You don't have to throw away every bottle in the cabinet, but you do need to become a label reader. You need to ask, what does my loved one actually need? Not what's in trend. Not what's on sale. Tailor supplements to individual needs. If your dad has low B12, supplement that, and only that. If your mom's calcium is low, let that be the focus, but check her vitamin D first. Seniors rarely need a full-spectrum multivitamin. And when they do, it should be carefully chosen, never just picked up from a supermarket shelf like a candy bar. Because what looks simple, what looks helpful, can turn into a chemical cocktail inside an aging body that's already trying to do its best with limited strength. Let's pause now, not just for information, but for reflection. You've taken in a lot. Vitamins that seem harmless, now shown in a different light. You've seen how good intentions without careful thought can lead to silent harm. But don't let it weigh you down, let it wake you up. I know this is a lot to take in. It's heavy. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, that's okay. Truly. Because when you set out to do something good, when your heart is in the right place, and then you find out that the very thing you thought was helping might have been harming, it's heartbreaking. It hurts. I've felt it myself. That moment when you realize your trust, in a bottle, in a brand, in advice passed down from well-meaning people, might have put someone you love at risk. It's not just shocking. It's personal. But here's what I want you to know deep in your spirit. This isn't about guilt. This isn't about blame. This is about power. The power to turn things around. The power to ask better questions. The power to say, from today, I'll do things differently. You're not late. You're right on time. You showed up today to learn. You took a step most people never take. You listened. You opened your heart to uncomfortable truths. And now, you're better equipped than you were 10 minutes ago. So here's what I want you to do. Nothing big. Nothing complicated. Just take 5 minutes today. Go to your loved one's medicine cabinet, that little plastic drawer, that shelf with all the pills and powders, and look. Really look. Read the labels. Ask questions. Why are they taking this? Who recommended it? Is it still needed? Is the dosage right for their age, their condition, their body? Because you might just catch something early. You might prevent a stroke, a fall, a silent complication that nobody saw coming. You might give your parent, your grandparent, your spouse, the gift of a healthier tomorrow. And isn't that worth a few minutes today? And listen, you're not alone. You're not supposed to know all of this. We're learning together. Every single one of us, me included. We're walking this road of elder care, of health, of love, one careful step at a time. And every small change, every smart choice you make from here forward, adds up. You're not just handing someone a vitamin. You're handing them peace, comfort, protection, dignity. And that is the most sacred act of love there is.